I'm delighted to say I've been joined by Tony Gale, former West Ham player who of course tipped up West Ham last week, Tony, at 2-1, well done, and Steve Curry from the Daily Mail. Just a quick look back at the Champions League, the Big Four. How did you think Chelsea dealt with that tricky away tie, Tony?
Well, the result says it all. You go away from home, you get a point, and that's all that matters at the end. It doesn't matter if you play well, you play badly, but the result is the main thing, Leon, at the end of it. So they get their draw and they win their home games, they're through.
And Steve, just having a quick look at Liverpool and Arsenal up against weak opposition, as you can say about Manchester United. But of the three, who would you say performed most admirably during the week?
Well, I would say probably Arsenal. Very convincing home win, good goals. But I mean, Liverpool are playing well generally, not just in Europe. They're playing well. Gerrard's 100th goal, terrific occasion for him. United did what they had to do. They didn't play very well, but they did what they had to do. Chelsea, you've got to remember, Roma went there and got beaten. So for Chelsea, they'll be quite happy with a draw.
Well, so let's have a look at this weekend's game, Steve. Tough away tie for Arsenal up at the Stadium of Light. Roy Keane got their first home win last league game against Middlesbrough. How do you see this one going? Well,
I think, having been beaten at home by Hull last week, they'll be very aware that, they can't repeat that kind of form. They got over it partly with the win in the week. I would expect them to go up there and win. I think that was just a bit of all credit to Hull. Defended brilliantly, had set the stall out the way they wanted it, and it worked. But I think this week, for Sunderland to do the same, I don't expect that to happen. I would think, for me, it's an away win.
Well, if you fancy Arsenal, you can get them at 13-8 on with ourselves. Tony, quickly looking at Manchester United, Blackburn in the past have caused United serious problems at Ewood Park. Without Messrs Rooney and Scholes, can they do another shock?
I think they'd have to settle for a Tevez-Berbatov partnership up front, so that ain't badly on, is it? But I think they will, yeah. I think this is a good bet. I was West Ham last week. This was my bet of the weekend. I would say Man United away at Blackburn.
I'd go for a draw. I think a draw. Blackburn they've got a good record, not bad record at home to United. It's a serious derby for Blackburn. There's a lot at stake. Paul Ince against his old team. And I think a draw is a good bet in that.
Well, if you fancy Steve, the draw is 11-4. Tony, your banker is 13-8 on. Big game on Sunday has to be Manchester City taking on Liverpool. In the past, these games haven't produced a lot of goals. Liverpool are flying, as Steve already mentioned. 100 goal for Steven Gerrard. I think more importantly, Robbie Keane has got the monkey off his back with his first goal. But this one is a tricky game to call, Tony. How do you see it going?
Tricky. I think City got set upon last week against Wigan, and I think they'll relish playing a bigger side, one of the top four, so they'll have more time to play their football, if you like. Liverpool have to keep it at a high tempo. They've seen how Wigan set about City and stopped them from playing. But I think City at home, and with the type of players that they got, can spring a little bit of a surprise and get a draw.
I'm going for a Liverpool win. I think Liverpool have got the momentum going with them at the moment. And really and truthfully, as far as I'm concerned, it's about time. I mean, Liverpool have been so inconsistent, but I think they're on a bit of a roll at the minute. And I think they'll go there full of confidence and take it.
Well, it's 6-5, the away win for Liverpool. If you fancy a draw, as Tony has mentioned, you can get that at 9-4. Just a quick question on Benitez. He's played the same team now for the last 3 games in succession. Is the pressure starting to come on him that he has to keep pace up at the top of the Premier League?
Yeah, I think what they're seeking is consistency, and I think that's what's come home to as much as anything. That if he's going to win matches with the same side, then he'll keep it. I mean, he will have to rotate at some time to stay in Europe, certainly. But for the moment, I think if it isn't broken, don't fix it, and they're doing all right.
So your banker of the weekend would be, Steve?
My banker of the weekend, Arsenal to beat Sunderland.
And for you, Tony?
Man United to beat Blackburn, because I've still got a few quid of yours to play up.
Well, there you have it. The two chaps not taking many chances. Both teams 8-13 on. Let's see how we get on this weekend.
Cheers, Leo.
Cheers.
Thanks, lads.